When America coughs, the whole world trembles. Welcome to Oyoyo's Media. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Oyoyo. If you're meeting me for the first time, don't make it your last. If you like what I do here, subscribe. Turn on your post notification bell to get the notification whenever I post a video, and leave me a like and a comment in the comment section. So today we are talking about USAID. Yes. USAID simply means United States Agency for International Development. And if you've been following American news lately, you understand that President Donald Trump, on taking office on January 20th, signed multiple executive orders to end a lot of things and to bring in new things. So USAID was one of those President Donald Trump put a stop to his program. What does USAID do in the first place, Oyoyo? You might ask. All right. USAID is an independent agency of the United States government that a lot of foreign aid and development. Yes, they are helping over 100 countries in terms of education, health, socioeconomic, disaster relief, environmental protection, to mention but a few. We will not be discussing the politics behind USAID, but we'll be discussing the global impact of this, freezing of funding could do to the world at large.
Tomorrow, going back to the 80s, where people were dying of AIDS.
The world is so global that an outbreak of disease can actually get to the US. You get what I'm saying? So we'll be looking at it from that perspective. And I'll be discussing some of the things the USAID was doing in some of these countries, and some of the things that made the most headlines. Did you hear that the American government was spending 100 million US taxpayers' dollars to provide condom for Hamas? Did you hear that on the news? Was it on your Twitter feed? Was it on your headlines on your satellite television? However you read about it, we'll be talking about that today and also correcting most of the things, okay? Now, how does that concern you, you might ask? Okay, let me break it down. The moment the announcement was made by President Donald Trump, news had it that some of the countries that were benefiting from the USAID program were shaking. So to tell you the impact of this, and a lot of people, especially with the war in Gaza, a lot of people were, what is going to happen to all those women and children affected by the war? Remember, I talked about USAID also helping in disaster relief. So the recent war that happened in Gaza, they have a lot of civilian casualties, and some of these funds are providing water for them, providing first aid for them, providing shelter, and as well as providing... You know what? We heard it on the news. Actually, it was on Twitter. Elon Musk, who is the chief executive of the new government office created by President Trump, Dodge. Okay, Elon Musk is the head, the chief in command of Dodge. He tweeted that America was spending $100 million on condom for Hamas, because it was in the news. And I'm going to look for that tweet. We are going to be putting some of those things in here for clarity. So when he was interviewed in the Oval Office of the United States President, the reporter asked Elon Musk if he was going to correct the statement he put out on Twitter by saying that 100 million of US taxpayers' money was used to buy condom for Hamas. Elon Musk simply put it, oh, you said it's not correct. If you said it's not correct, you do the correction. So he's not taking responsibility for putting out wrong statement out there. He asks you and I to do the digging, the research, to get the right figures and correct him. So when the reporter asked those questions, saying that the amount that was spent on condom was actually 50 million US dollars, and it was for the provision of condom for the country of Mozambique. However, even the 50 million US dollars of condom, wow. Was that for 50 years? I don't know. I want you to tell me what you think in the comment section. Now, what is the global impact? How does it concern all of us? Oh, this does not concern me, so I don't give 2 cents. Oh, no. You have to give 2 cents about this one. You know why? When outbreak happens, it's not restricted to the region where it happened. We all saw how COVID went. Even America that was minding its business, COVID got here. When COVID happened, it traveled far and wide. And America had one of the worst casualties of COVID. So don't think this might not happen to you. If those funds are completely taken away from all these programs, you never can tell what is going to happen. Most of these funds, especially those in Africa, is being used to prevent tuberculosis, to prevent malaria, to provide treatment for HIV/AIDS. So imagine those funds are completely taken away from those things. What do you think will happen?
Saving work with HIV prevention and treatment, but some of the clinics they work with have had to lay off workers or even close their doors.
Do you think there will not be increase in tuberculosis cases, or do you think there will not be increase in malaria? Do you think there will not be increase in HIV, or probably it might develop full-blown AIDS if no treatment is given? Why is he suspended? Trump said America first, that he's trying to cut costs for the citizens, cut costs for the government, cut costs for America. This is a serious wake-up call for all the countries benefiting from USAID. What do I mean? Yes, these countries will now have to think outside the box on how they can provide for all these needs that are local within them, on how they can bridge the gap if seriously these funds or funding are completely taken away. They should be able to right now start thinking how they are going to bridge the gap that this withdrawal of funding could cause. They are in over 100 countries. That means they have missions in over 100 countries. Is it that they're helping with disaster relief, they're helping with educational relief, socio-cultural relief, environmental protection, and they provide medicine, especially with global health crisis. They are one of the forefront in making sure that the diseases or new diseases are controlled. So, what do you think? Very serious. When America coughs, the world trembles, and that is a fact. Donald Trump is shaking the globe with all his executive orders and all his, cutting off the United States from a lot of agreement that the country has been in. The Paris Club, the United Nations, USAID. But why is USAID so interesting for me to discuss? I'm looking at all the global impact. We might think it's just for the people in Africa or people in Asia or wherever. No, it goes beyond regions, because if any outbreak should break today, let me take you back when Ebola came. Remember? It got to America. When COVID happened, it got to America. These two diseases did not originate from the US. But did it get here or not? It did. I remember the impact of COVID. I watched on my TV screen, crying every day when they were counting the death toll in millions. I really pray and wish that this USAID program will not be cancelled. I pray and I wish, because we might think it's fun today, it might have serious global consequences on all of us. A lot of people travel through the plane and you breathe the aircraft oxygen for 12 hours, 10 hours, 16 hours, depending on the journey. Do you know what that means? So I'm praying and hoping that this cancellation or freezing of funds will be reversed. I'm praying and hoping that they will reconsider the consequences that this might have. I'm looking at the overall consequences that this freezing of funds might cause to the world. So guys, on a lighter note, the advice I will give here, if you are that randy person that you're not faithful to your wife or faithful to yourself, this is the time for you to do what? Zip those buttons, face your forward, mind your business, or better still, get a condom. Because if these funds are completely cut off, the ripple effect in case of the spread of diseases will be out of this world. That's why we are hoping that it does not get to that extent. And to all the beneficiary countries of USAID, this is the time for you guys to get to the drawing board. Yes, get to the drawing board and figure out how you're going to assist your citizens. Overdependence on foreign aid is what is jeopardizing your growth. Yes, try and work on health reform for you and your citizens. Okay, I'm talking about all these countries. They should be looking into health reforms, looking into how to develop within and stop depending heavily on international aid. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll be reading your comments and responding as well. And if you like what I do here, do me well by subscribing to my channel, like this video, leave me a comment, and join my membership here. Until I see you guys in my next one, thank you for watching. Don't forget to come back for another interesting discussion. And